Pledge of Allegiance by District Commissioner Lester Goody, and opening prayer by Commissioner Leon Stepp. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, as we come before you today, we ask you to guide us through this meeting. Help us to find harmony within our county, Lord. This is a very important decision we have to make, and we hope that we follow your will. Lord, in all these things we do, we thank you for the privilege of coming out. We thank you for a free country that allows us to practice this. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. As I said a moment ago, or a few minutes ago, appreciate everyone coming out tonight. Even though it's something others we don't want to do, the commissioners definitely don't want to do, but it's got to be done, and so that's where we're at. We'd like to see crowds like this at every monthly meeting. I mean, just, if, just not because the building's on fire or something other coming out, but just, something other, anytime you're welcome. Doors open all the time. But anyway, appreciate y'all coming. It is a little warm in here, so we'll got the windows open, and maybe they'll get a breeze coming through. Roll call, Miss Amanda Hicks.
Justin Miller.
Here.
Ben Cooper.
Here.
J.P. Reagan.
Here.
Kim Davidson. Here. Benny Hughes.
Here.
Robert Cooper.
Here.
Lester Gooding.
Here.
Leon Stepp.
Here.
Rita Pierce Murphy. Here. Larry Cooper.
Here.
All present.
Everybody's present, so we have a quorum. I would like to invite a agenda change. We'll be moving, we had some in the wrong place, my fault, and I apologize. Under item number 5, I request that we move items number 9 and 10 to be placed prior to number 7. And also, after number 4, that's where we're at right now, I'll give the opportunity for the commissioner wanting to say something before we get started. Do I hear a motion to do these?
Make a motion.
Motion by Commissioner Lester Gooding. Is there a second?
Second.
Executive Johnson, did you want to make the item number 12 update as well?
Number 12. Yes. Yes.
That's the updated language to state that voting will be conducted by drawing of names of those candidates who have been officially nominated by the legislative body.
Yes.
Okay.
At this time, does any commissioner have anything they'd like to say before we get started?
I'd like to, Mr. Johnson. I'd like to start out with appreciating each and every one coming out. Appreciate each and every phone call that I have received. Appreciate all the support to all the different candidates. I would like to make it known that it has been said that I made the comment in the last meeting that we had like this when we appointed Miss Rita as the commissioner, that it should always go to the next person in line. This is different circumstances. I'm not backing up on what I said. I'm making my vote tonight based on what I feel like is the best decision for the county. Comments have been made that we're very transparent. We've already got our minds made up before we get here, and I hope that each and every commissioner here has done research and has a good idea in their mind of how they're going to vote. If they've not done their work. I greatly appreciate each and every, or all three of these guys that have come up, that have been qualified to, for this position, and they're absolutely, each and every one of them are qualified. Some of the calls that I've had have been mudslinging calls. To me, that's very childish. Anytime that you sling mud to another candidate in order to be elected, you're being childish. You're being a politics, what you are. That's not good. If you call me or if you request a vote from me, I expect, for you to tell me what you can do to better the county, how you can help the county, and how you would be the best person for that position. I've had different ones come and sling mud about other ones. That's not childish. These people get online, and I take no weight in Facebook, but these people that have got these fake accounts and get on there and want to sling mud, want to talk about people, childish, ridiculous, nonsense. If you've got something to say, be a man or a woman, stand behind it. I promise you, I will speak my mind. I'm not here for a paycheck. I'm not here to be seen. I'm here because I want to preserve what Fentress County has and what we have had. And I love it here. I hate it that we're in this position. I hate it that we can't go a full term without having to appoint an elected official. It's ridiculous is what it is. But I am basing, regardless of what anybody says, I am basing my vote on how I feel what's best for the county. And that being, we are a little over 4 months prior to the election. It don't take a rocket scientist to know that you don't need to turn things upside down. That's all I have to say. I appreciate you, each and every one of you again.
I just want to chime in and say the same thing. I appreciate y'all. And I know it's because it's a close county, and everybody has their favorite and who they're champion in that cause, and we can only pick one. And I'm like Ben, I put a lot of thought into it. I have not committed to any candidate, and I will not. I'm going to lean into this process. I have done a lot of research and spent time with that. And I'm going to try. I said sometime I couldn't play poker. Y'all going to see me probably sitting here tonight, a little switch flip on and say, oh, she made her mind up. But again, I hate that 10 people are sitting up here picking a sheriff. But the thing that comes out of this more than anything is lean into the election, y'all. Go vote, show up, go to the polls. And I was picked by the 2nd District. I had somebody, one of my constituents today said, Kim, just make a choice. We picked you. We trust you. And I'm going with that. That means more to me than the bullying phone calls I got. I was elected, and I'm going to make a choice that's best for the county. If I don't get people's votes in August, it's been a pleasure serving, and I have enjoyed it. So, that being said, I just appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all understand where we're coming from. We live here. Guess what? We are right here with you. It's our county just the same. We're just sitting in a different seat. So, we don't have a crystal ball. If we had, I think we'd all, we'd been voting different in elections. We are where we are. And I do want to go in with what Ben said. If the best thing you can say about yourself is something negative about somebody else, you don't have much going on. If you want in here, tell me what's good about you, not what's bad about somebody else. So that's it.
Anybody else got anything to say?
Yeah, let me chime in real quick. This is not most of our first rodeos, as we all know. My first term as a commissioner, we had the same task. And now this being my last term as a commissioner, here we are again. Whoever gets this tonight, please do better. Please. I don't want the next commission to have to do this and keep on doing it. My vote tonight is based on what I'm supposed to do. This is an elected position, normally. My vote is strictly, I've taken a lot of phone calls. I've got a tally sheet with each person's name on it. Whoever has the most votes on that tally sheet, whenever it comes time for us to vote tonight, that's where I'm going. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to take public input, and that's what I've done tonight. So at the end of the day, I'll be able to go home and go to bed with my mind at ease. Thank you all for coming, and please continue these crowds at every other meeting, not just for special occasions. Thank you so much.
Is there anybody else?
I'm going to, on the voting part, I'm like Justin there. I'm going to let the phone calls I got from the people in 2nd District. If you call in 2nd District, I put your name down, I got you tallied. If you call from another district, I did not put your name down because I'm just the voice of the 2nd District. So I'm going to let the 2nd District that call me make up my mind tonight for who they want. I appreciate you all coming tonight.
Anyone else? If not, we will get started. I would like to say, as we said before, I appreciate the interest in of y'all being here tonight. Apologize for it being a little bit warm in here, but we got some problems with our air conditioning right now. Of course, 2 days ago wouldn't have mattered, you know, but it's cool outside. But this is where we're at, and I hope and I'm sure people are, and I wish people to show this much interest in a lot of things that goes on here, you know, different things about the county, because like I said, it's a rough job up here. I mean, you're making decisions and stuff. You don't ever see a big line of people, you know, a lot of times in line to run for the offices. But we appreciate your trust, and we'll go ahead and get started. Now we'll read the agenda, and I'll need an approval for the agenda tonight. We had to call to order, Pledge of Allegiance, opening prayer, roll call. We'll be moving to number 9. And 10 up. Reading of the agenda, approval of agenda, candidate interviews. Mr. Austin Andrews will read our questions tonight. All questions, there were 5 questions submitted by all the commissioners. 5 questions will be asked to each of the candidates with 2 minutes to respond to each question. At the end of the questions, the candidates will be given 3 minutes for closing remarks without any further questions being permitted. All non-interviewing candidates at that time will be asked to exit the courtroom during the interviews, and it is requested they also leave behind their cell phones or devices. You can lay them on that table right back there behind the cameraman. There, we're right next to where Mr. Insco is standing. Then we'll ask for the motions to close the interviews, nomination of qualified candidates for the sheriff from the county commission. Ask for nominations, any more nominations from the public other than the candidates. Motion for nominations to cease. Public comment will be there. This will be the ones that have signed up on this letter right here. We have 2. They will be able to make their comments in number 11. 3 minutes time limit. No questions will be permitted to the candidates. They will address the commission only. Number 12, voting will be conducted by drawing of names of those candidates who have been officially nominated. They that will be drawn out of whoever gets nominated. We'll put them in. We'll let Mr. Andrews, Austin, he will draw those two names out. Who will be asked first? Who will be voted on first? The vote will be conducted by a show of hands. Majority vote, 6 required for appointment. First candidate to receive the required 6 vote majority will receive the appointment of Fentress County Sheriff for the term ending August 31st, 2026. The appointed candidate will be sworn in Tuesday, March the 24th by Judge Todd Burnett. That'll be tomorrow. We're going to take our time. What we're doing tonight has been recommended by CTAS, which is the county organization that helps with the counties with all the laws and what needs to be done. And then also by the Post Commission. We sent stuff to the Post Commission also to get it approved.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented with those adjustments.
Second it, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Kim Davison, second by Benny Hughes. Any more question or comment as far as we've got so far? If not, roll call vote, please.
Justin. Ben. JP.
4.
Kim.
4.
Benny.
4.
Robert.
4.
Lester.
4.
Leon.
4.
Rita. Larry.
4.
10 for, none against.
10 for, none against, motion passes. Item number 9, we will ask for a nomination of qualified candidates for the sheriff from Fentress County. We have 3 of them to be nominated. Do I hear a nomination?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I would like to nominate Hunter Fowler. I would also like to nominate Gary Ledbetter. I would also like to nominate Rodney Inscott.
All 3 candidates have been nominated.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Larry Cooper. Any more question or comments to this?
Do we need a motion for nomination to cease?
No. We don't even have to have a second on nominations. We don't have to have a second. Is there any nominations from the public? He has been nominated. Thank you. Is there? Yes, sir. He's been nominated. And so has, go ahead. He has, the nominations have already been made. Mr. Lester Good nominated all 3 of them, so they don't have to have no more nominations. That there was nominated, no, I done told him that. And Mr. Gary Ledbetter has been nominated also by Mr. Lester Gooden. So there is any more qualified ones that needs to be nominated. If not, I'll make a motion nomination cease.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Benny Hughes. Second by Commissioner Benji Cooper. At this time, who will ask for the nominated candidates. Please drop their phone here on the table and to move down to the ECD room. Just wait there and we'll send somebody to come and get you, okay?
Mr. Chairman, do we need to vote on that motion we made?
No. No, all you have to have is one nomination. You don't have to have a second. Need the candidate's name to draw out so who gets interviewed first.
Should I get Isabella to do that, or?
That'll be fine. Isabella, you go right ahead. No, they're shut down. They're shut down there.
The first person to answer questions will be Mr. Rodney Enrico.
Will someone please retrieve Mr. Insco, please? While they're getting him, would you care, Mr. Andrews, to open up the envelope and dump the questions in there, in the jar?
Stand here.
Will you please draw 5 questions out? Mr. Insco, you'll have 2 minutes on each question, and we'll go by the clock on the wall back there, okay? He will read you 1 question at a time.
Are they all going, are we all?
You'll
are
have
you
the
gonna
same
have the
questions.
same-
You'll have the same questions, yes, sir.
Mr. Insco, why do you think you should be appointed as sheriff?
Well, because I have a plan for our sheriff's department. I worked under Michael Reagan shortly after he got elected last time. I seen a lot of things that was being done, how they were being done. To make a long story short, I want to better train the department, and I'm pretty confident I can do that. Excuse me. I've been looking into training. I've been talking to the other officers. Over the past 8 years, they've slacked in their training, and it's not their fault or anything else. I think it was just the people that was over them didn't care as much about getting them trained as they did certain others. So I definitely want to better the training. I want to get the sheriff's department back to work for the people that live in this county, for the people that work in this county. I want to get them trained. I want to get them the equipment they need, and I know I can get that done.
What are your thoughts or ideas for continuing winter wood for the elderly?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. That will absolutely be done. I think it's a good program. I think it takes care of the people in the county. There would be no reason at all to stop that program.
What are your thoughts or ideas for continuing the garden and growing of vegetables?
There again, another, I don't see any programs that they're doing that I would want to put a stop to. There's a few things I want to add to the programs they're doing. I would like to definitely get a animal control unit in the county, somebody that specifically takes the training for that sort of thing to further that program for the county. I would also like to get a litter crew. I'd like to get a litter crew out in the county. You drive any road in our county right now, besides the bypass. They keep the bypass pretty clean, but the rest of the county, I mean, we could use some help. We've got men and women up there at the sheriff's department that would love to be out on a work crew for the litter. So yeah, the garden is a definite, yeah, we'd keep it. And the wood, the same thing. Those programs we definitely need.
Tennessee Code annotated 44-8-408 and 44-8-413 established that dog owners must keep their pets under reasonable control, typically requiring a leash in public and prohibiting them from running at large. If appointed as sheriff, will you enforce this law as you do others?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Laws are put in place for a reason, and I hate to say this, but I worked here for 2 years. Number one, probably one of the calls we get the most is an animal call. Whether you like it or not, you live in the country, it's an animal problem. People keep their horses in pens, they keep their cattle in pens. If you own a dog, I think you ought to at least be able to control your dog and keep it on your property. Yes, absolutely.
And the final question, how do you ensure transparency within your office?
Well, and I started this when I decided to make this second run at this office. There's a lot of misunderstanding that I've run 4 or 5 times, and that's just not the case. I've ran one other time other than this, and I am transparent about everything I plan to do for this department. I put it on my campaign page. When people call me, I don't go back and forth on Facebook. I don't get into the drama. I post stuff and I see it every once in a while, but I'm not that person. I'm not going to get into it. I put my phone number on the campaign page and I put it on every card I give out. I encourage people to call me. And if I'm elected or appointed, that phone number is still mine and it will always be mine. I want people to call me. If there's a problem, and I get calls all the time. Just yesterday, I won't name her, I won't name where she works, but she works in the county here, and they've had some issues with a little order of protection. And one party's violating it, the other party ain't. I tell them to call the sheriff's department. But because they have my number, and I want people to call me. I'm transparent about everything I say and everything I do. I mean, anybody can call me and ask me anything.
And of course, you have 3 minutes to address the county commission with your final remarks.
Final remarks as far as I want to address the commission, but I also want to address the crowd. My name's Rodney Ensko. I am currently the lead investigator at the Salina Police Department. I've been in law enforcement right at 30 years. I've been Tennessee State certified for 25 years. I graduated Walter State Community College April the 12th of 2001. When I graduated and got to work, I automatically started looking for more training. I've been in it 30 years. I've got over hundreds, if not thousands of hours of specialized training. Interview and interrogation, child sex abuse, human trafficking, drug interdiction, domestic violence, you name it. If it was ever offered to me in the 30 years I've been in law enforcement, I've took it. I think these guys need to have folders that thick. A lot of these guys have been here 8 years, and all the training they've had is the police academy, and that's not their fault. We live in a small county. It's hard to keep people working. But when we do have opportunities, we need to send these men and women to get them trained. Put a little thing here together so I wouldn't forget. Nine years ago, I stood in this very spot asking for this same job. And we had, I think there was 5 questions, there may have been 10 questions. One of the questions y'all asked me was define integrity. Define integrity. The definition of integrity is being honest, ethical, a person of good morals. And I say that to say this. Last election, when I ran for sheriff, I came up a little bit short in the vote, but I made promises to the people of this county. I promised them that I'd be out and I'd be proactive. I promised them I would patrol their houses, their places of employment. I promised them with my life I would protect their children.
30 more seconds.
Okay. I did that over of course, when I humbled myself, I called Michael Reagan and asked for a job. He gave it to me. I kept those promises. That was my intention of coming to work here. That's what I wanted to do. And I promise you now, if you elect me or you appoint me, I promise I will be proactive for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You don't care to step back out into the room? Thank you. Yes, wait just a minute. You tell the next one here. Just 1 second.
The next candidate will be Gary Ledbetter.
Mr. Ledbetter, we're going to ask you 5 questions. You'll have 2 minutes to respond to each question in succession, and then you'll have 3 minutes to address the county commission and everyone in the room at the end in any final remarks. Why do you think you should be appointed as sheriff?
Well, quite simply is that my experience and my training. There is no other candidate in this race that has anywhere close. Matter of fact, both candidates combined does not even have anywhere close to the training and experience that I have. In light of recent history, I believe this county needs a firm, steady hand to run the sheriff's office. Someone that's been through the fires, someone that's been there when the bad things happen. They know what to do. They know how to respond. And I think at this point in our county history, it's probably the most important sheriff's election of my lifetime. I think it would be a good time to actually get this right for a change, because I understand the predicament you all are in. Obviously, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. There's no way I would want to be over there. I understand there are budgetary concerns and that, worried about turnover, things like that. Every time, when I ran for sheriff last time and this round, rumors already started flying, I want to fire everybody up there. Of course, they start that every time to scare all the employees at the sheriff's department, thinking they're going to lose their job if I get sheriff. And of course, that's absolutely not the case. As you know, when I was here before and I was chief deputy, I ran the budget when I was here. I know how to stay within a budget, and I'm very mindful of that budget. So I just think with the training, experience, and all the years of service that I've had, I just think that it just really shouldn't be a close decision. Like I said, the budgetary concerns are there. I get all that, but I'm not going to be one to upset the apple cart on that. Thank you.
What are your thoughts or ideas for continuing Winter Wood for the elderly?
Winter Wood is a very important program. Obviously, I would continue that program. There may be some changes made to it. And who gets the wood, I think it needs to go to the needy and only the needy, which means the elderly or disabled. I don't think that's been the case in years past, and I'm not talking about now. I'm not talking about right now. But I'm talking about in past history, I don't think that's actually happened. I think it goes to some people's friends, their buddies, people like that. Obviously, I will keep that program, but there could be some adjustments made to it to make sure it does go to the right places.
What are your thoughts or ideas for continuing the garden and growing of vegetables?
Well, that's a good idea in theory, and I think it would still work. I don't think overall that it helps a whole lot in the budget, but obviously it's a program I would keep because I do think the inmates do need to be out working. I think that they need something to occupy their time. I would actually like to start a mowing crew up there and actually start a whole nother crew other than what they're working now to get more inmates out, to get them involved. The inmates, they're there for a reason, obviously, but they all have families and they all need a chance to reform. So if we can get them out there, get them working in any kind of a program and help them to make their way a little clearer in the future. I've always said that one person we don't have to arrest or put it, later on in the future. That's a success for us. Folks think that law enforcement just want to go out and throw everybody in jail. Obviously, that's not the case. If we can take some people off the same recurring folks that keep coming in there, then I think we're going to be a lot better off.
Tennessee Code annotated 44-8-408 and 44-8-413 established that dog owners must keep their pets under reasonable control, typically requiring a leash in public and prohibiting them from running at large. If appointed as sheriff, will you enforce this law as you do others?
Yes, basically in simple terms, those statutes say that if the dog is not on your property, then the dog has to be restrained on a leash. That's just a simple way of putting it. Obviously, we need to enforce that law. We go out, we write citations for that. We put it in the hands of the court system. The court system would handle it from that point on. But yes, we would write citations for that because there's a lot of animal lovers here. Obviously, I love animals. Most everybody does. But they want, they keep their animals on their property. They want other folks to keep their animals on their property also. A lot of times they only love their animals, or at least they love them a lot more than they do the neighbor's animals. So yes, that would definitely be enforced.
And for your final question, how do you ensure transparency within your office?
Well, transparency always starts from the top down. And if you mess up, obviously, if I get appointed or elected sheriff, either one, I'm going to make mistakes. Anybody will. It's not going to be perfect. I can assure you I've had the training and experience to take care of matters, but I'm not going to be a perfect sheriff. So if we make a mistake, we will own it and we will take care of it. A lot of times we get the system where employees mess up and because they're friends or whatever, we don't want to discipline them or whatever. We have to make sure the police, so to speak, have to be better than the public. You have to rise above that. I've always lived by that, and I will continue to live by that. If we make a mistake, we'll own it. We'll call WDEB. We'll call the press. We'll put it out there. We'll remedy it. We'll take care of it and go on.
And you have 3 minutes for your final remarks.
Okay. Well, in speaking with that, I've got 39 years in law enforcement. I've been chief deputy under 2 sheriffs. I've been a detective, lead detective, or chief deputy for the last 28 years. So I have the training, experience, and the knowledge to handle anything that should arise at the sheriff's office. I believe that is the most important thing we can do now, because we have to have that leadership. There is a lot of young deputies at the sheriff's office. Nothing wrong with that. They're a little bottom heavy. You need a more rounded out. You need some people up there with some more experience. They're a little bottom heavy, but that's okay. That happens sometimes. It is hard to get people to work these days. The only thing about that is you've got to have that strict leadership. You've got to have someone to make them accountable. So I have to be accountable to myself first, and then I have to make them accountable. And if we do that, I think the sheriff's office will operate a lot more better.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
You're sure to ask Hunter to come in.
Mr. Fowler, we have 5 questions. You will have an opportunity to answer each question with a 2-minute answer, and then you will have a 3-minute final remarks opportunity.
Absolutely.
For your first question, why do you think you should be appointed as sheriff?
Well, since May, I've been doing the job. I stepped in whenever the county needed me. I've worked in every position from corrections to deputy to K-9 to investigator. I've seen what we've lacked in those spots, and I know the improvements that I wanted whenever I was in those positions. And going about it now, I've been looking back and trying to fix a lot of these inadequacies in these positions, trying to make sure that we send our officers off to training, make sure that they're taken care of, and the better they can be taken care of, the better the county can be taken care of. I don't want to cut no corners, and I want to make sure that we do our job right and that we can take care of everybody in our community equally.
What are your thoughts or ideas for continuing winter wood for the elderly?
I am extremely pro winter wood. There's a couple other programs and stuff I'm excited to see if I could start rolling out. The winter wood's been a great success, and then since everything's happened, since I've been appointed chief deputy, I was over a lot of the winter wood project, and I think that projects like this is something that needs to continue. It gives the trustees that we have in jail, they're people that's been in hard places throughout their life. They've had, they've suffered with addiction. They've never really had that positive community feedback. And then whenever these guys get out, and you could watch them deliver wood to the elderly or, somebody in need, and then those people come out and they're like, you know what, thank you. We really appreciate what you guys are doing. It really warms my heart, and it shows that, these trustees are people, and they can start seeing like, hey, I could make a difference in my life. These people see that I'm trying to help. And we've had great success with our trustees coming out and remaining clean. I've got some friends that was trustees that I still talk to this day that have went out and done things for the community. And they testify every day saying that how great it was for them to be able to do these things. And it's super beneficial to the county. There's a lot of people that's hard up, people that can't afford to buy their own bricks of wood. They can't afford to have somebody else bust the wood for them. And us just going out there and showing forth the effort and giving back to the county whenever it needs it. I think that's extremely important.
What are your thoughts or ideas for continuing the garden and the growing of vegetables?
That's been something I've already been looking at. We have already turned over dirt, ready to get that started up next to the jail. There's a couple spots that I've been talking to, which hopefully she won't mind me saying it. She's not here today, but me and Christy's been in the talks for. There's land next to South Fentress, big field. It's not being utilized right now, and what I've been talking to them is that we'll plan on planting a garden this year, growing what crops we can, and then if everything works out great, and then we can really grow a good sustainable garden, increasing the size of that garden out there in Clark Range, and then actually giving back the overages to the schools in the area. So I think the garden's an amazing idea, and we can keep our budget costs for what we spend on food down drastically just growing a garden. We have a lot of people donating seeds. There's a whole lot of good that we can do. This is stuff I'm super excited about.
Tennessee Code annotated 44-8-408 and 44-8-413 established that dog owners must keep their pets under reasonable control, typically requiring a leash in public and prohibiting them from running at large. If appointed as sheriff, will you enforce this law as you do others?
Absolutely. I can't even begin to tell you how many citations I've wrote over this. The way we normally handle these animals at large is that if it's first offense, that we don't just cite you right off. We give you an opportunity to fix your mistake. So if you get a dog that's on a lead and it breaks off, we're not just running out there and trying to, nickel and dime somebody because their dog broke their lead or, a dog ran out of the house. But whenever it's a continuing issue, that's whenever we address it. I know that in our past, we've had a discommunication issue between officers. So you'd have one shift that would, say, hey, next time we come out here, we'll cite you. And then you have another officer on a different shift, different rotation, say, hey, next time we come out here, we'll cite you. And then you have 2 or 3 officers that have said the same thing and they haven't been cited yet. So the public's been very receptive of that. And from what it looks like on the outside looking in, I understand that it looks like we haven't been enforcing it. But one of the things that I've addressed in the last meeting with my deputies is that we was working on a paper copy to be able to bring up to dispatch saying, hey, these people's dogs are out. Since then, I've found out that I can really navigate it a different way, and what we'll do is start logging this on our computer. So anytime that you go out to an address, all you have to do is plug the address in. You'll see what officer went out there, what the disposition was. Everything pulls up. So yes, that's absolutely going to be something that's going to be enforced.
And for your final question, how do you ensure transparency within your office?
That's something I've worked really hard at doing. Being in contact with the local news, being in contact with radio stations, newspapers. Our Facebook has become drastically more used within the last several months. Honestly, since I got chief deputy, I really put an emphasis on trying to show the public what we're doing. And whenever you don't have that level of transparency, it breeds community distrust. And then if you let the public make their own decisions, own their own story, sometimes it's not the full truth. You'll get halves of the story. But what I want to do and what we need to make sure that we do as a department is make sure that, hey, put this out, say this is going on. If we have a string of break-ins, let the public know. There's no issue with that. If there's an active case going on, push it out to the public. I mean, there's transparency breeds trust in a sheriff's office. And if you have a transparent sheriff's office, you'll have trust in a department. I mean, that's what needs to be rebuilt. There's just a whole lot more communication that needs to be built up between the public and the sheriff's office.
And you now have 3 minutes for your final remarks.
Honestly, it's just an honor to be standing up here in front of you guys. This is a massive decision that y'all have to make. And this will be a massive decision that the county has to make. There's nothing more important to me than my family. And I'm raising my family here. I'm married. I have a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful kids. Hudson, he's 4, and Cullen, he's 1. He'll turn 2 here soon. And I want them to grow up in a county that can trust, whenever something's wrong and they call a law enforcement officer, they call for help, and they say, hey, this is something that I need, that we'll be there. Fentress County has been done wrong in the past. And we've had incident after incident with the sheriff's office. And I know that I am young, and that's what a lot of people see. They say, oh, you're 30 years old, what experience can you have? Well, life teaches hard lessons, and I've been through a lot of tough decisions. And I mean, being my age, it's gave me the opportunity to be able to fix the deficiencies that I have and to know when I'm wrong and own when I'm wrong. Nobody's perfect. Everybody does make mistakes, be it myself, other candidates. Things happen. But it's how you move forward from those decisions. And if appointed sheriff and if elected sheriff in the future, this isn't a one-term job for me. I'm laying it all on the line here. This is my career. And what I'll have to do and what I will do is prove myself to the county that it's not only election years that you're going to see the sheriff running around town going to these events. It's going to be an everyday thing, and that I will be involved from start to finish. I won't leave any cases unturned. I won't leave phone calls unanswered. I mean, I get 1 million phone calls a day, and I do everything I can to call everybody back. And if I don't, then I have people remind me that I need to call people back. It's part of the job. but there's nothing I love more than this county, and I want to see this county do well. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
Can they come back?
Yeah, just go back in, we'll call you, No, just have them to come in, just, that's all the candidates, so just have them to come in, have a seat. Do I have a motion to close the interviews?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Contrary likewise. Item number 11, public comment. We have two that signed up for public comment. There'll be no debate with anyone. Be respectful. Speakers must be signed in prior to the meeting. 3-minute time limit. No questions permitted directed to the candidates. Please keep your comments toward the commissioners. The first one that we have signed up first, Mr. Nick Bird. He would like to comment on 7, 9, and 11.
What's going on, guys? Sorry to be here again. You know, the second time since I've lived here that we've had to appoint a sheriff. Third time? Second. Sorry, maybe off my quote there. Realistically, the county's just tired of the BS. We're tired of the corruption. We're tired of the good old boy system. We want to get a sheriff in there that's going to do the right thing and at least try to make it a full 4 years, possible 8-year term, without having any kind of legal intervention, not having the county in the news anymore. I've been here since 2017, I think is when I moved in here. So I've had the privilege of working for the sheriff's department under Bigfoot, and it was under Chucky at the time, and then it got taken over. I can't really say anything other than I just want y'all to do this with integrity. I want you guys to get somebody in here with integrity, somebody that's going to be able to lead this county and do what's right. And if anybody here has had any allegations, any of the candidates have had any allegations of being involved with drug crimes or, you know, doing any kind of misconduct, any kind of quid pro, whatever that quote is, we don't need them. We just need to scoot on down the road there, elect somebody that's going to be in here that's going to do the job the right way. Now, y'all know I'm not a very religious person that's very well known in this county, but there is a quote from Proverbs 10:9 that says, "People with integrity walk safely, but those who follow crooked paths will be exposed." Now, I made it a part of my life. My peace was disturbed quite some time ago, and I made it my point to go ahead and expose what I could expose, which resulted in Bigfoot getting out and a couple of other officers, you know, getting out of there too. I think 3 of them left or got fired, something like that. So nobody should fear the cops here in this county. Nobody should fear retaliation. And if you guys vote tonight and y'all decide to vote away from what your tally marks say, you guys should not feel that your job is in jeopardy, your life, your family is in jeopardy. Nothing like that. We're all civilians here. We elect who we elect, and that's the way it should be. If anybody's going to have any retaliation, well, then it needs to be dealt with. For 8 years, I warned that sheriff's department was is nasty. It's disgusting to even call us a county here with that sheriff in there. So I just want there to be peace, and trust in the police department, that nobody's going to have you arrested just because they know somebody else. Nobody that is part of the quote-unquote good old boy system is going to be let off easy because they are friends with the sheriff or friends with the investigator or whoever else, or higher up if we want to go up to state reps. I just want to have a good, solid 4 years of police enforcement. I tell you, man, the garden is a great thing, and I think having an expanded garden to try to offset some of the costs towards the schools, towards the police department, that'd be great. Saves us money. The litter crew, love it. Why? Because it takes the waste management people and puts them back in waste management, puts our trustees out there on the streets. We're not having to pay somebody $15 to $20 an hour to go pick up trash when we have a jail full of people with lesser offenses that can go and do this job. Plenty of other counties do it. I don't understand why we don't do it. So there's been a lot of good points here today. I'm gonna vote for the outside man just because I feel it'd be a personal biased decision if I voted for anybody here, either Hunter or Goose. They've been here for quite some time, so I'm putting my name in the hat for Mr. Rodney Ensko. I think that he can do a lot of good for this county. He is not an outside person, but I haven't had any bad conversations with him. I've never had any bad conversations with Hunter either. We may see different, eye to eye here, but at the end of the day, I worked with the guy. He's a good guy. Is he young? Yep, he sure is. The training records, I did pull the training records on the whole sheriff's department, and there is a lot of training that has not been done in almost 5 to 6 years. So there's no way of having these officers up there to say that they know what they're doing when training has evolved almost every year. There's always something different. And to just do it it's kind of like basic training. You go to basic training, you go to AIT, and then when you get to your duty station, you further your training. When they come out of the police academy, they come straight here and there is no further training. I'm going to teach you what I know of what I think is correct, and that's not the right way to do it. So, how much time I got left?
We got a couple more minutes because you won't speak on all three items.
I squeezed all that into 3 minutes?
Go right ahead, yes, sir.
Oh, no. Oh, well, shoot, man, I ain't got the agenda with me. Hold up. Thank you. Number 9. Which ones was I talking on? 7, 8, and 9?
7, 9, and 11.
7, 9, and 11.
Yep.
As far as transparency goes, we should be able to ask our officers and our sheriff what's going on, and they should be able to tell us. If there's been any kind of scandals or anything like that, any kind of allegations, it should be made public instead of made available on the TBI website or any kind of comptroller's website. Then it's reached too far when it should have been dealt with beforehand, right? So anybody that's willing to put all the information out there and have that little bit of humility in themselves that, hey, man, I screwed up, then that's more of a man to me than anybody else, right? Let's go to, man, you said 9, 10, and 11?
7, 9, and 11.
7, 9. Man, I can't remember that. I'm a little nervous. See him shaking
You've
up
got
here.
about another minute to remember.
All right.
Okay?
Well,
hang in there. You're doing all right.
I got this, man. Hey, you know I still got that piece. So I can't ever say Jimmy never gave me nothing. He gave me this piece of candy early. And I'm going to hold this piece of candy. I may put this in epoxy, Jimmy.
You might ought to. My time's
because
short.
that's a treasure to me now. You've given me something.
Well, I appreciate it.
But, man, that's all I have. I just want you guys to vote with some kind of integrity, some kind of hope that this county is going to get better by who you guys elect. Because at the end of the day, whoever y'all vote for, if something happens between now and then, if any of y'all are going up for re-election, it's just not going to end well. We're going to remember this, and we're going to say, all right, you guys did this, y'all are done. So you guys can vote by tally marks, by raise of hands, by whatever. Vote morally, too. Keep what's in your heart, Well, that's it, man. That's all I
Nick,
got.
Thank you so much, Nick.
Thanks,
Thank
Jimmy.
you. Yes, sir. Ms. Rocha, you want to speak on number 11.
Yes, I do.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
First, I want to tell you, based on social media, I think you guys have taken the hit hard. I would imagine your phones have been blowing up like crazy and tally marks here, there, or wherever. But what my what I really want you to consider right now, we've been here, our family's lived here for over 20 years, and I have personally had interactions with all three of these men, and they're all three good people. I wouldn't say any of them are worse than the other. However, our county has seen such shakeups over the last few years, continually it seems. We've got new primaries for the first time. We've got other elections coming up. I would like to keep Hunter in that position and let the people decide at election time. That's all I want to say.
All righty. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much, Ms. Rose. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll ask, after you've heard the announcements, we'll have those candidates that you will nominate at this time. After you've heard these, yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate Hunter Fowler.
Is there another nomination for anyone?
I'll nominate Gary Ledbetter.
Is there any other nomination? Is there another nomination? Not, is there a motion, nomination cease?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Any Hughes? Did you, Ben Cooper? Ms. Bella, will you put those two names in a jar and we'll draw out to see who gets voted on first?
I thought it was listed on the agenda as to how we did the voting.
You what?
I thought it was listed on the agenda how we did the voting. Item 12.
Again.
I just thought this was what we had to follow.
Better follow the agenda.
Yeah, but where's it at?
Did you see item 12?
Mm-hmm.
What you read to the public said voting will be conducted in the order.
Do that.
That was the clarification at the beginning that said that it would be drawn out instead of by order they were received. That was the clarification at the beginning of the meeting.
I'm out, Isabella. You have two names in there.
Okay, so out of these two names, the first one drawn is what we'll vote on first. And that name is Hunter Fowler.
All in favor of Hunter Fowler, please raise your hand. Got them all?
Yes. There's 8 for, 2 against. Justin Miller against. Ben Cooper for. J.P. Reagan against. Kim Davidson for. Benny Hughes for. Robert Cooper for. Lester Gooding for. Leon Stepp for. Rita Pierce Murphy for. Larry Cooper for. 8 for, 2 against.
8 for, 2 against. Hunter Fowler is your appointed sheriff until the August election. And there's still a primary to go through. So Hunter, you will be the acting sheriff until the August election, and whoever is elected then will be the sheriff for the next 4 years. You will be. I'll give Judge Burnett a call tonight, and I'll get in touch with you to let you know what time to be at his office in the morning. I'd like to thank everyone here tonight. I'd like to thank the commission for doing this. There's not a whole lot of people in line to have to do this. With that being said, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. So moved.
Motion by Benny Hughes. Second by Ben Cooper. Meeting's adjourned.